Hello and welcome to Drain IV. I'm Kerry Taylor. Today we're going to show you how to install our Drain IV system, but first some housekeeping warnings and safety information. Installation of this product by anyone other than a licensed HVAC or electrical contractor voids the warranty. So please make sure your installation conforms to local building codes. The air handler's drip tray and drain line must be thoroughly cleaned prior to installation. And please, don't forget to turn off the air handler's power before removing the control box cover. Okay, let's move on to the fun stuff and review what comes in the box. The heart of our system is our pump. The pump has barbed in and out ports, a USB Type-C power port, a display, a silicon keypad, and a flexible mount. Here is the IV bag concentrate. Please read the warnings and safety information before handling. Then we have the refillable 1-gallon IV bag, a 24-volt AC to 5-volt DC converter, a 10-foot USB Type-C cable, an injection port, 4 meters of 1/4-inch tubing, a weighted filter, our hardware kit, the drip tray installation kit, and the instructions. We will follow the printed instructions in this video along with some extra detail. Here are the tools you will need: scissors, pliers, screw gun with a socket drive, wire strippers or wire crimper depending on your installation choice, gloves, and eye protection. Okay, let's get going. Step 1, the 24-volt AC to 5-volt DC converter installation. First, as noted in housekeeping, you will want to turn off the power to the air handler. Being a stickler, I always like to double check with a non-contact voltage tester. Using your screw gun, remove the cover on the air handler's control box and locate the 24-volt AC transformer. On the 24-volt to 5-volt converter, there are 2 red wires. These wires are to be connected to the low side of the transformer with either red wire to either side of the transformer with no polarity concerns. There are 2 included options in the hardware kit to make these connections: 2 T-tap spade connectors and 2 simple wire nuts. Use the option and corresponding tools that works best for you. I personally like the T-tap spade connectors as they are nice and clean. Next, you'll want to feed the small end of the USB cable through the control box wiring port from the interior to the exterior. Pull the length needed to power the pump and connect the large male end into the converter's female USB connector. You can optionally mount the converter with the included self-tapping metal screws. Reinstall the control box cover and turn the power back on. A note on the power draw: Drain IV pulls less than 1 amp or 4 volt amps when under load. Step 2, programmable pump and IV bag installation. First, you'll want to find a suitable location to mount the pump. The pump can simply sit on a flat surface, or the flexible mount can be formed around a pipe or something similar. There are 2 install options for injecting our agent into the drain system: directly into the condensate drip tray with our drip tray install kit, or into the 3/4-inch PVC access port just outside the air handler with our included clear injection port. First, we'll cover the drip tray install kit. Depending on the drip tray, you'll either need 1 or 2 of the green 1/4-inch drip tray tubing clamps. Single trays can use 1 clamp installed at the highest point of the tray's slope. U-shaped trays will use 2 clamps positioned at each side of the top of the U. To install, slide the 1/4-inch tubing through the green 1/4-inch drip tray tubing clamp and slide the clamp over the edge of the drip tray, making sure the end of the tube is below the tray's top edge. For 2 clamp installs, you will use the included T and cut the tubing to fit for each clamp. Locate an existing hole in the exterior of the handler or drill a 1/4-inch hole and feed the loose end out and leave enough length to reach the pump's out port and cut with scissors. To install using the injection port, remove the cap on the 3/4-inch PVC T access port and install the injection port. Install the 1/4-inch tubing into the port and leave enough length to reach the pump's out port and cut with scissors. With either install option, on the loose cut end of the tubing, install the included 5mm hose clamp about 1 inch in from the end. Pushing the tubing onto the out port's barb and use pliers to move the clamp down over the barb to seal. Next, we want to fill the IV bag and connect the in port. Remove the IV bag cap, and while using gloves and safety glasses, open the IV bag concentrate and dump it entirely into the bag. While holding the bag by the neck, fill with tap water up to 1 inch below the rim. Then push 1/4 inch tubing through the top of the IV bag's cap about 10 inches and push the filter over the tubing until it hits the stop. Insert the filter and tubing into the IV bag and tighten the cap. When complete, it'll look like this. Then we want to find a suitable location for the IV bag to sit, where the bag can be hung by its 2 metal grommets. The bag will not fall over when drained. Note that the IV bag cannot be positioned greater than 5 feet above or below the pump vertically. Next, we want to cut the end of the 1/4 inch tubing with sufficient length to reach the pump. Then install the included 5mm hose clamp about 1 inch in. Push the tubing onto the in port's barb and use pliers to move the clamp down over the barb to seal, just like the out port. Next, locate the small end of the male USB connector and plug it into the pump's 5-volt power port. Lastly, using the included cable relief clamps, secure the 1/4 inch tubing and USB cable to tidy up the install and prevent the 1/4 inch tubing from kinking. At this point, the install is complete and the pump should be off and charging. You should see a flashing 0 to 9 or a solid 10 on the how much display. This is the battery level. On our next video, Programming and System Operations, we'll go over all the details of the display and silicone buttons. If you have any questions, you can contact us at sales@drainiv.com or through our website's Contact Us page. We value our contractor partners, and we are available for technical assistance or in-house training anywhere in the United States. Thank you for installing Drain IV.